It's approximately day 84 of the Stop the Diabetic Insanity journey. I feel like since coming back from Brisbane and the Gold Coast almost a week ago, I'm just like a totally new person, and my whole perspective of my life has changed. I feel new in my body. I feel really good. Haven't lost an amazing amount of weight, but I feel a great improvement in my health since taking on a new mentality, and that is one of higher vibration and self love. And in the past, I think I would have sacrificed a lot of my own self worth to be liked and approved by others, and to gain the validation and approval of others. And now it's like the total opposite. I'm actually assessing what's happening outside of myself against my inner values and what I believe. And if anything doesn't resonate with me or doesn't gel with me, it's going to get the ass. And I have no regrets about that, whether that's people, places, situations, anything that doesn't actually honor who I am and the new person that I am needs to go. And I don't have any regrets about that. This new approach about hyper awareness is really starting to work, and I'm starting to really see things for what they are. A few days ago on the Friday, it was a very hot day, and I had an appointment at the Alfred Hospital with a heart clinic. And the reason for that appointment was to see if I could be a candidate for a drug called Duramine, which is a weight loss pill. Um, my doctor said I got a tachycardia, which is like a very high heartbeat, and she wanted me to go to this heart clinic to see if there's anything wrong with my heart. And this shows kind of the slackness of the medical profession, I believe. The doctor did examine me, measure my heart rate, put me on the ECG. And yes, it did confirm that my heart rate was a little bit high, but then proceeded to shrug his shoulders and say, well, that's just the way you are. And you're diabetic, and what else can you do? But that's just the way you are. And even though I wasn't outwardly cynical, this made me cynical of, the type of care that I'm really getting. And I realized that I really can't rely on the opinions of people in the medical profession, even if they are in the medical profession, because they don't really know my body, and they don't know what it feels like to be in this body with chronic illness, and they don't really know my motivation to want to improve my life. So even though this doctor thought I was okay, I didn't look overweight. My HbA1c last time was 6.9, so that's kind of okay for a diabetic. I'm not really willing to lay there and accept that that's just going to be the case. So I might be a candidate for the Duramind, which would be helpful, I suppose, for improving my health. But I'm not really relying on that to improve my health, to be quite honest. And I realize that the only way to really improve my health is to heal my energy body, heal my mind, heal my emotions, and learn to forgive the past. So that was one set of lessons that I've learnt this week. Um, yeah, I guess the other thing that I've really noticed is just how much richer my life is since taking on this new approach to life. I feel like I've got a greater awareness of the things that I do, the things that I eat, my thoughts and my attitudes when I do it. And as I said in previous videos, it's had a lot less negative impact on my body. So even though sometimes, I might have a slight indulgence, I don't mentally punish myself for that. And as a result, my body feels a lot lighter. So even though the scales don't necessarily reflect that, I feel so much better in my body. And I do believe that my blood sugars are stabilizing. So I guess the plan from now on is to keep on having this hyper awareness over my eating habits, my thoughts, my emotions. Still not overindulge, still keep an eye on things, but not to be overly punitive on myself either. And also to keep up the other practical aspects of my life, such as the company I keep, the thoughts I'm thinking, the environments I hang out in. I have no problems being alone. I used to have this huge problem about being alone, and now I just don't have that anymore. And so there's a general freedom about that too. So I've learned to really enjoy life. Last night, I went to to see my friends Pete and Phyllis at their house in Preston, and just had an amazing time on Australia Day. And I realised it's because I was less in my head and more in the moment. And really, it's not really about the amount of company you keep. It's not about the amount of friends that you hang out with. It's really about how you feel when you're around people, how comfortable you are, and how much you're willing to let yourself enjoy the moment and get out of your own way. And that's something that I'm willing to practice from now on while in the time that I am going to enact my plan to leave Victoria and Melbourne. In the meantime, I want to be able to practice this, you know, as a good way of living before I head off for my new life, wherever I go. So there you have it. I wish you well for the new year. I'm going to start my work week really soon, and I'm actually really looking forward to that. Starting my routine again and having some money back in my bank account. Um, I just I am really grateful for the life that I have, and I really hope that every diabetic out there is improving on their journey as well. So I'll talk to you soon.